You are live.
I'm convening the marketing committee meeting at 5 p.m. We're at the Life Saving Station on Dagsworthy, and we have several members who are participating online. If we could start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us do a roll call if you'd like to start.
Lisa Martinez.
Patrice Gansey,
Ellen Winkler.
online, please.
Sally
Rick Schweitzer.
Silver.
Rick Schweitzer.
Sally Silver.
Kara Keplinger.
Yeah.
Susan Macy.
Thank you. And we have Commissioner Bauer with us, and we have Bill Zolper with us. So the first piece of business is to adopt our agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move.
Second?
I second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next item is the approval of our minutes from our last meeting. May I have a motion?
I will approve those as well. I second.
Lisa, any discussion about the minutes? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. First item will be public comment. We don't have any members of the public participating, right? Okay, so we don't have any comments. So welcome everybody. I know everybody has a story about the weather and what's happened to our homes and how hard it's been to get here. So I'm glad all of us are participating one way or the other. So thank you. Our first item is discussion and possible action about the town hall fundraising initiatives and activities. And Kate just told me we now have about 210 sales?
Yes, on the bricks, yes.
210 sales of the bricks. So we're moving along there. And well, let's see if anybody has general comments. The next thing we will do is go into our efforts to reach out to businesses over the last month. Anybody just a general comment about that? Okay. So all of us had about 7 businesses to contact. And I know personally how difficult it's been right now, but if anybody, I'd like to start with, let's just go through each member. If you'd like to start, Louisa, about what you've done, and we'll just go around for the whole group.
Okay, I went personally to Gold Leaf and spoke to Maria, because Sam is never in, she's his secretary, sort of. And I was encouraged though, because they even had the little flyer that was posted online.
Oh, good.
Right on there.
Great, they've already done it, great.
They had the flyer up there, but Sam had an emergency and he, in the family, somebody's sick or something, so they weren't able to, Maria wasn't able to tell me if she's going to contribute or not.
Okay.
But anyway, it was nice to see the little brochure. Nalu, I have not been able to get a hold of
Okay.
Reagan. I sent an email and it came back undeliverable, and his place is closed, so
Okay.
I don't know when I'll be able to get a hold of him, other than to maybe track him in one of his other places that he owns.
Okay, we're gonna have a lot of that, so don't worry about it. And maybe the best way to do this would be to say if we have anybody like Gold Leaf who's already done something or is
Okay.
committed to anything, and then,
Okay, Adam's Oceanfront, Adam Azil Dukes, he said he will participate. And I left him a voice message telling him how he could go about it online if he wants, and I never heard back from him, but he did say he was interested and
Good.
would either do a brick or volunteer with the plaque.
Good.
And then I also spoke to Delaware Board Sports, and Janice is the secretary. She said that it would be better if we would contact her maybe in August, because right now they don't have money to participate.
okay,
And maybe in August, when the season comes back, they'll be able to
okay.
do so.
We may need to do it before August, depending on what the deadline is, but that, I understand that fully. Okay, great. That's it? For now?
The others, I
Not
just left a
progress.
message, but
Okay.
No response.
Yeah, I had pretty much, I think I've talked to everyone who was on my list. No one yet has made a commitment. We did get from iDewey that they will post notices and help us promote the brick fundraiser. Other than that, nobody made commitments, although I did reach most people, so that's where my list stands. Ellen?
Well, you both have done a great job. Not so for me. I haven't been well, and I've been spending a lot of time at doctors and hospitals, so I haven't done anything, but I'm better now, and I will get back on board.
I know you will.
And it will be done by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you. Any of our online participants? No? Rick, your name is up there first. Do you want to go first?
Hey, I did not get that email, or I lost that email. So if you send it to me again, I'll get on it this week.
Okay, Rick, thanks. Okay, Sally? No, I didn't give Sally a list. How about Susan?
Okay, I have contacted everybody on my list with at least an email, and Rhett, I guess Orange Inn, which I have no clue what that is. What is Orange Inn?
Anybody
Used to
tell
be
us?
the Bellboy.
It's what?
Used to be the Bellboy Hotel, and that's
Oh.
Rhett Ruggiero, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, they were great. I sent an email to them with just the, I think I went about this wrong, so I think I need to do a correction. But anyway, I sent an email to everybody, put in the flyer, just introduced who I was, telling them what we're asking, and then I sent the link. The flyer, I didn't see a link in the flyer, but I added the link to the webpage. So Rhett said, yes, of course, we'll do it. So I'm hoping that I'll ask people, let me know when you do it so that I can report back, but he said yes. I talked with Jessica at Pro Ocean, or what's known as Dewey Parasail, and she was very excited about it and very positive, so I'm hoping that that's a yes. I left a message with Dewey Convenience, and I emailed Keith at Pliables. So I'm hoping that they'll get back to me. I wasn't really asking them if we can put our stuff, put the flyer in their businesses. Most of these businesses are closed
Right.
at this point, but I was just asking them to participate and told them how wonderful it will be to have 365 advertising days and hours. So of
Great.
their businesses. So I think I have 2 for sure
Good.
positives.
Good. Thanks, Susan.
Yep.
Tara?
Hi, I was very similar to Susan, emailed everybody. I did hear back from Nick, I don't know how to say his last name, Mini Golf. He was also excited and willing to participate. I sent him all the links, so I don't know if he did anything yet, but I can reach back out to him as well.
Great. Okay. And I think that Jungle Gyms has already put stuff out, or has the stuff, because they.
I was gonna say, I didn't have them on my list, but they had told me.
They had told you before.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Okay. Lily, who can't be with us tonight, said she really hasn't made a lot of progress on her list, and she will get to it soon. I think that covers all the members, correct? We did not give Sally a list since her primary role is liaison for the Resiliency Committee. I think I learned from my experience that this may be a little bit early to get commitments from people, but I think it's okay that we did the initial round of outreach, and maybe if people remember us when it starts getting warmer and they see more announcement, that'll pay off for us. So I don't think it's a wasted effort. We've obviously seen some positives already, and go team. Thank you. That was great. If you haven't done the contacts with someone yet, if you could keep trying. If you hear of anybody who's actually come through and told us, that would be nice to share with the committee, but thank you all for doing that much. Any other comments generally about this part of the process?
Is there any way that you could tell us if any of these people did donate, or is it too early to do that?
I would have to look through the list of everyone who donated for bricks. I don't know off the top of my head, but I can certainly look it up for you, yes.
Okay, let's move on to a general discussion about community and business outreach. Kate and I worked with the Civic League and they put a notice out last week, and Kate reports that we have gotten some purchases as a result of that, so that's very good news. I've been talking to Monty and the partnership. We're still discussing what he hasn't already done very generously for the project, but he's willing to do more, so that's great, and I'll keep talking to him. We heard from Alex Hanna again, who used to be the committee chair. He has an idea, but I'm waiting for an answer from the town. He would love to see some social media outreach to visitors. And I told him, I don't know what that means and how we do that. He said that if we could give him an idea of what a budget is, he could give us some parameters about who and how he would contact them. But I'm going to ask the town representatives if they could follow up on that. I told him I don't think there is a budget, but let's see where that goes. Visitors, outreach, I wanted to ask, we have been talking about a raffle and asking businesses to conduct a raffle within their own businesses. And I'm wondering if it's feasible to do it town-wide, either through us, or maybe that's one thing we could ask Monty to do through the business partnership. Organize some kind of opportunity for people who cannot afford to buy a brick for $300, but might want to put their names in for $20 or $25. And depending on how much money the raffle totally brings in, that will determine how many names we pick who get their name on a brick. And do people think that that's a possible idea, or does that sound too grandiose or not feasible?
I don't know. Think about that.
Kate, do you have any thoughts about it too?
We did do a raffle for our Dewey Dog Day that we did last, September? And that was basically all the businesses kind of chipped in and provided gifts for the raffle. So we've toyed with it. I'm trying to think of where we could set something like that up, what would be the next event that maybe we could look at it. I don't know.
Or is there something that could be done? Is it possible to do something online where people would send their money in and be on record as having made a donation, and at the end of whatever the deadline date is and how much money we have, we pick winners?
Could that turn into a bookkeeping nightmare?
Accounting may want to kill me, but I mean, I can look into anything. No
Wouldn't mind
promises,
looking
but I
into
can
it.
look
It
into
may be a crazy idea, but I've been thinking that I don't know how individual businesses are going to do these raffles on their own. I mean, you have to think about tickets and handling money, then keeping it separate from their proceeds. And I think it might be better if we had one general entity that could do one big one. And, that's it.
Could
So-
we do this when we're sitting in the restaurants for our fundraiser, like Big Fish?
It'd be mixing Dewey and Bloom with the bricks. I'm happy for us to have brochures and things about the
Can we
bricks.
do that? Can we?
I don't know.
mix
Can we
both of
even do
them?
that?
I don't know.
It's tricky, right?
What did Ellen say? I'm sorry.
Well, we're sitting at the Big Fish where they're giving us a percentage of the night's take, so to speak.
This is Dewey and Bloom, not the
Oh, I
whole.
got you.
Yeah, Bloom is doing that, but I wondered if we could tag this into that and have the bricks there as well. I mean, it's all Dewey.
I think it's an accounting issue, and we may need to talk to the town about how that's
All right,
possible.
just thought.
But, as a local volunteer group in town, I think we should be supporting it as much as we can too. So if it's feasible,
Yeah.
we should do it. Okay.
What about if to that point, if they're doing a night where I guess they're taking up some proceeds from whatever people are spending and giving it to Dewey and Bloom, what about asking one of the restaurants to do the same thing? We have a Dewey Town, whatever, night at a restaurant, and 10% of the proceeds or whatever that number looks like goes to the building, as opposed to a raffle.
It's one of the things I've talked, not exactly what you're saying, which I think is a great idea, but I have been talking to the partnership about something along that line. Nobody's approved anything yet, and we haven't gotten into details. But let's see how that could work. Maybe there could be a Dewey night, a fundraiser town hall night in the restaurants, and everybody would give a percentage of proceeds. I think that's a good idea. Thanks, Susan.
Yeah, I think especially within Dewey to do something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. I don't know if you're getting out to the other places or not.
Okay. Anything else? We're going to come to a big one in a second, and Rick's going to lead that discussion. But I would also like to raise that we had proposed the neighbor network, and we've gotten exactly 4 responses, 3 of them from our committee, and 1 other volunteer. And I have been thinking a lot about that, and I am having second thoughts. I don't think we've thought through the whole communications chain, who would write the original proposal, the original notices that go out to the committees, the communities and streets, and what leeway people would have to add their own information or reinterpret what we send out. So I would like to propose that we put that on hold for now until we think it through more. Maybe get a little bit more interest at another time of the year. And do I need to take a vote on that, Paul and Kate?
No.
No? Okay. Does anybody object to kind of putting it on hold for now?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Rick. Rick had a meeting today. I joined him with the Chamber of Commerce, and he will report on the results.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. Kate is new as chamber head, but he's been involved in the chamber for 9 or 10 years, and she actually was an intern in Dewey Town Hall years ago. So she knows Dewey well, and as you folks know, we're members of the chamber as well. Dewey is. So, 3/4 of the meeting was I was asking her how to help us raise funds. Thankfully, I remembered to ask her, "Can we help you at all?" But so we focused on that, and she had a couple ideas, and we're going to put them into motion. One is and Kate, you might be able to comment on this. I believe you and the chamber, I don't know if it was Kate or somebody else at the chamber, might have done an email blast to the member-to-member email blast back in the fall or late fall. She said she was going to check on that, but I believe that was done, and that was a request or enticement to buy a brick. Kate, do you have any comments on that one?
Yes, that was all sent to the chamber. They said that that was going to go out. Additionally, we do have an ad for the Buy a Brick going in the welcome guide for 2026.
Great.
The welcome guide for the realtor packages or what?
No, just the general welcome guide that the chamber puts out.
Okay,
And they
got
put
it.
them in like the newspaper looking boxes everywhere. They're widely circulated.
Okay, great. And she said she is more than willing to do another member-to-member blast to see if we can, obviously you got to ask somebody once, you got to ask them twice, and you got to remind them a third time. So I think maybe you and I, Kate, should go offline and talk about doing another one, sometime in the next couple months. Secondly, and I'm not sure we have the funds for this, but she said that she would supply up to about 1,100 what am I calling it, mailing labels to all the members of the chamber. And we would be responsible to, put the flyer in the envelope and attach a stamp. But at 78 cents a stamp, that would be, somewhere around $800 or $900. So, Patrice, I thought you didn't think we probably would have the funding for that, and we might just want to do the member-to-member blast. Was that your thoughts there?
That's what I'm thinking, because we don't really have any budget. So I'm thinking member-to-member blast, which I think she said is very effective, right? She does get responses from those. So we can do it for nothing. That's better.
Well, Kate, when you did the member-to-member blast, do we have any metrics that say that we got any feedback or any efficiencies from that? Did we get anybody to sign up for a brick?
No, unfortunately, on the brick order form, there's nothing on there that says, you know, how did you hear about us or anything. That's something to think about. I don't know if it can be added after the fact, but I can check with the fundraising brick company and see, because that would be the only way to track that type of metric for sure.
Okay, I figured that, but I wanted to ask. Okay, then I asked her, would it make sense for me or Patrice to come to a board meeting and talk to the board members? And she said, no, Monty and company and all the Dewey businesses are well representative, and they know very much our mission, and Dewey's mission in life is to raise some money for the town hall. So that was not something that she thought would be relevant or effective for us. But she did say that they have monthly membership lunches, where they get about 50 to 60 members coming each month to a location to be determined. And that she said that she would, give either me or Patricia, probably me, Patrice, excuse me, the ability to come to one of those lunches or 3 of those lunches or whatever, and give a 2-minute commercial and an enticement and an advertisement for the Buy a Brick campaign. So I signed up for that, and hopefully, I think there's a meeting on the 24th, and she said she would invite me to that. She also, we then, okay, I'll skip events and come back to that. But she also recommended that we do a, what she called what was it? Some kind of pack card, I think. Pack card for the realtor welcome for all the Rehoboth renters. And she said that if in June and July, which are obviously the busiest 2 months for Rehoboth, that's about 5,000 or 6,000 renters that we could do a pack card for each one of those welcome bags that the Rehoboth realtors give out to Rehoboth renters. So I think that's something that could be very good for us. That costs 10 cents a packard. So my thinking is if we had to do 6,000 of them, that's $600. So we need to sell 2 bricks for that to get, to break even. And unless I hear serious comment otherwise, I think that makes some sense, because I can't imagine we couldn't generate 2 or 3 or 4 bricks to at least cover our cost and our efforts to get the Buy a Brick campaign in front of everybody that rents in Rehoboth for July and August. Thoughts, comments there?
Well, it's Rehoboth, not Dewey though, right?
It's a combination.
Both.
It's a combination, right? Rehoboth and Dewey?
The realtors in Rehoboth?
Patrice, we talked about it before you joined. She didn't focus on, I thought she just said Rehoboth realtors, Rehoboth rentals. But I don't know if she delineates between Rehoboth and Dewey as in terms of summer rentals. But again,
Right.
she has a list of, and of the realtors that she then takes a welcome packet or a welcome bag, and we'll still have anything in there for, 1 page for 10 cents. And what we were thinking on one side would be the Buy a Brick campaign, and the other side would be the QR code to the, the Dewey Beach newsletter or the, Dewey Beach Town Hall activities, et cetera. So I don't know if that would be, again, I don't know if she delineated between Rehoboth and Dewey renters, but clearly Rehoboth has a lot of rentals.
Rick, I know, because this original idea came from my realtor who helps me with a few rentals in the summer. They're based in Rehoboth, but they rent to Dewey, they rent for Dewey as well. So,
Correct.
So I do think even though they may be based in Rehoboth, they have renters all over the area. So any of their renters would be getting that information.
Yeah.
And I know that my renters get a packet every time they check into my house, so.
Correct. Well, I rent my house out and I rent another one, so I get the package as well.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Is there any way that only the ones that are going to Dewey, that we could put this flyer in theirs? So that it,
Rick, I don't know that you talked with her. I was going to ask that question and it got lost. I'm not sure they're going to have the ability to pick out only people who check into Dewey get it, because I think they fill the bags and they give them to the realtors, and the realtors just hand them out as people.
Well, plus, I still think that Rehoboth probably has more rental properties than Dewey, number one. Number two, for 10 cents a person, we might as well advertise it to the Rehoboth renters as well.
I agree.
Is there any statistics on during the month of June, like from June 1st to June 20th, Like the types of renters, like the June bugs versus like families and people who really care or might care? No? Okay. I was just curious.
She broke out the possibility of doing this from May to May or doing it for July and August or Memorial Day to Labor Day. I think there's some options and it would determine how many we purchase and when they would be put in the bags. So that's something we could consider.
Yeah, the June bugs are usually in June.
June,
so
right?
June.
July.
Yeah.
Kate, are you aware of something called a rack? It's a rack card. Are you aware of a rack card?
No.
Okay. So in addition to the 10 cents, we had to get some printer to, print up a rack card or several thousand rack cards. So that it might be, I don't know, 20 cents each to do that. I don't know the cost. I don't know the cost, but it might be more than 10 cents to produce the cards.
She told us that any printer knows what a rack card is, and she basically described it as if you have a trifold flyer, it's one panel. So you get the front and back of one panel. So that gives us an idea.
Yeah, it's like a big bookmark is the way I think of it.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any idea how much those cost per rack card?
No.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm guessing the 20 cents. I could be totally wrong, but that triples the number, so we need to sell 4 or 5 or 6 bricks to make a break even cost.
And it's
Thoughts
also
there?
not just it's also not just the fundraiser. The other side would be access to, a QR code that would help people find out about permitting and events and the town and the newsletter. So we're getting a little bit more than just, the brick fundraiser budget there.
So, Patrice, for us to do that, I assume I need to get a rack card pricing, which I will do. And then maybe at the next meeting, we decide to vote on whether we want to ask the town to fund, $1,000 to try to reach 6,000 people. Is that a fair thing to move forward on?
Paul and Kate, what do you think? I know Kate has great connections at printers and she may save you that step, but what about the process of a vote as Rick's suggesting? Do we do some research and then vote at the next meeting?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it.
Good.
I agree.
Okay.
And by the way, we have till early June. I mean, obviously we need to get it printed up ahead of time, but it's not mandatory we do it next meeting, but we'd like to put a stake in the ground by March or April for sure. Okay, the other thing we talked about, I asked her, because I know we had talked about it 1 or 2 meetings ago about do we promote the events enough in Dewey? And if people read the town newsletter, yes, but how do we better promote that? And by the way, how do we promote the Rehoboth events, and how does Rehoboth help us prevent the Dewey events? So she has given me an email and a contact person, and Kate, I'll work with you, and we'll make sure that any events that we have that the chamber knows about, so they can pollinate, their email list and email blast as well. So that, and put it in their newsletter, in their newsletter as well. That was kind of what we covered, but again, she's brand new, but she seemed very eager, and she says she has a soft spot for Dewey in her heart, because this is where she started her internship career. But so I'd like to try to stay in touch with her, and obviously I'll see her at the luncheon coming up. Any questions or thoughts about anything else that I should bring up in my communication with her?
Anyone?
Okay.
No,
My only comment is
great job there, guys.
Yeah, it was a really good meeting and Rick did a great job covering all of the stuff and remembering to offer to help them too. So yes, Bill.
So for Rick, sometimes I speak with Kate down there also. If you are going to talk to her again down at the chamber, during their movie night, before the movie starts, they put slides up on the screen of different businesses around town. Ask her if we provide her, the town provides her one of the flyers in a format that she can put on the screen. We'll put it up there, and it'll have, the QR code, it'll have a phone number, something up there, see if she's okay with that, and we'll go ahead and provide that.
That's a
to her.
great idea. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, thank you.
Bill, sounds great.
Like a
Okay,
big QR code or something up on the screen.
yep. Okay. All right, are we ready to move on? Next is the discussion of anything that the Resiliency Committee would like to share with us, Sally. Anything recent that we should know about?
The only thing I have to share is that our January 15th meeting got postponed until February 5th, which is Thursday. So I really have nothing to share until our meeting on Thursday.
Okay. I do have a question. Were you able to attend the forum in Lewis on climate?
I was not. Unfortunately, I ended up having to be out of town, which was kind of an unplanned trip. But yeah, I'm very sorry to have missed that.
There's an article in the Gazette today, I believe, and it's really interesting. And I'm not the expert on this stuff, but the woman who led the forum is very knowledgeable and might be somebody who can help translate the big important issues into English for those of us who are not familiar with it, and maybe help do some kind of event here in town. It's just my comment.
Yes, I actually read the article, and it was very impressive. In fact, I made a note of her name, and I'm going to recommend to the committee that we maybe reach out to her and try to somehow engage her.
Great. Okay, moving on. We just wanted to have a discussion about 2026 events, including the July 4th celebrations, and if there's anything special going on that we should be involved in for this particular year, any big celebrations, anything we as the marketing committee should be doing to help others in town who are already arranging events. Paul, Kate, Bill, anything that you can tell us about what's going to happen?
I mean, Highway 1 will probably sponsor their 4th of July fireworks on the 4th of July. As of right now, there's nothing else for the 250-year celebration. You know, there were some thoughts about closing some streets off and having like a festival, but when you close the streets off, I mean, you have renters that have to go up and down the streets. If you try to do Dickinson Street or Van Dyke Street, you have businesses in those areas, the Rudder, the Hyatt, and the Lighthouse. It's just hard to close streets off like that, but you know, we're open to any ideas on how we could help celebrate the 250-year anniversary.
Yeah, I think I don't want to lead everybody into the trap of us coming up with let's do this and let's do that, but I would certainly like us to make it known to anybody in town who's doing anything, like the partnership, that our committee's available to help promote it and help them support what they're doing. I've been kind of keeping a running list as I've seen it on the partnership, Lions, and other groups about events that are coming up. Kate, you did a rundown of several of them that are coming up. Run for the Buds, the World Down Syndrome Day on March 22nd, April 4th, the Egg Scoop, April 9th, May 9th, I believe, the Arts Festival, June 27, Kids Running of the Bull. Dewey and Bloom is hoping to have our first ever kids bike parade on July 5th, if the town approves it. And we've got canoe races coming up on the 14th, in addition to all the other events normally for 4th of July. And I haven't listed the Lions events. Any place that you all know about that we should offer volunteers, or we should have tables with the brick information? Is it too soon to be talking about those things? But I think we should have his presence there as much as possible, advertising the fundraising.
I agree. And I think we should get some kind of a program in line and get volunteers ahead of time to do that.
Who can I work with to kind of be in charge of doing that? Is Kate, Paul, or you can just tell us if you need people at different places? Nobody's seen. Is it just a good idea at this point and we'll talk about it?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
returning.
I mean,
Okay,
certainly if you
It's
do
too
it at
far
the
out to think about right now. I'm sure we will, though.
okay. Go ahead.
I was saying, if you do it at the Egg Scoop, we could have the Easter Bunny or something passing out the brochures to the parents. The Easter Bunny, another chore for the Easter Bunny, Paul.
Yeah, Bill.
You could ask the Dewey Business Partners if inside some of the eggs they put on the beach, if one of them could be for a free brick. I don't know how we make, I'm just trying to think how that would work where we would get some benefit out of that. That might draw more people there, but that's not gonna have them buy the bricks, but there are a lot of people at those events.
I know there are, and that's, we should reach those people somehow. We should be there to reach them some way. Okay, any other thoughts right now?
Are they gonna have the, pink, for cancer awareness?
Dewey Goes Pink in September,
October, first weekend in October.
which will be after our deadline for selling bricks. Is that, we don't know yet. It may be after our deadline. Okay, so,
Well, can we talk about the deadline?
yep,
When is the official current deadline?
So we're hoping the town hall will be done sometime around September 15th. Okay? It doesn't mean we have to have the brick walkway done by then. It'd be nice if we sell all the bricks by then. What I hear around town is when I talk to people about buying bricks, they say, well, when's the deadline? And I say, well, we'd like to have them done by probably June 1st. And they go, okay, well, that's some time away, I'm gonna wait. I think at some point, we're gonna have to say, we're gonna do something like a June 1st or July 1st, because then we still have to order them all, we have to get them in, we have to get them installed. It doesn't mean the building, the building may be completed, and we still may be putting bricks in. And we may end up having, put bricks in, some months after the building is done, if we get enough people to order more bricks, to go down the side of the building. It's 100 feet deep, so.
A couple thoughts on that.
Right.
Now, I'm in the construction business, and Bill, I'm very impressed by the progress that's being made, but I've rarely in my career ever seen a building get done on time. So that's number one.
I'm not saying it can't be done earlier, Rick, I'm just saying, I think September 15th is a good
Yeah.
goal. It could be done earlier, but I don't want to say it's going to be done earlier, so we'll just stick with September 15th.
Yeah, but here's the other thought. We're not going to sell enough bricks. So, September, I mean, how many do we need to sell? Several thousand, right?
Yeah, about 18 or 1900.
Okay, 18 or 1900. If we're being realistic, we're not going to reach that goal by, August 15th. So what do we do then? Do we extend? Do we try a different kind of fundraiser? What do we do? I mean, I think that's something we need to start thinking about and understanding.
I think we move on at that point and say, well, this how many we sold, this is what we got our donations on, and got to have a sidewalk there. We're not going to, keep it dirt.
Okay.
So
at some point, there'd been a discussion about, and I don't know if it's already been decided not to do this, the possibility of blocking off, doing as much of the walkway as possible, and then having gravel that we could do a second round of sales, so that once people started seeing how great it looks and that they missed out, we could do a second round of sales and build on. Bill, is that still a possibility?
Yeah, because as Rick said, possibilities of selling enough to do the whole side may be unrealistic, but I think we're going to get some done. The question is, Rick, I hear what you're saying, is when do we say, like right now, if you haven't ordered your bricks by July 1st, you're not going to be in the first part of the sidewalk. And then anybody that buys them after like a July 1st would be in the second part of the sidewalk.
Right,
Yeah.
well, because that affects, frankly, the reach out to the not the gift bags, the welcome bags from the realtors, because we were thinking about doing July and August. And, the people of the last week of August, I mean, we're not going to be able to, So I think in the next month or two, we need to figure out a transition phase there too.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Okay, anything else on events, 4th of July? I I've sent Kate a couple of things that I've said, is this good for social media? And I've gotten the impression that they weren't good for social media. Are we doing any better on sending things? And is there any advice you want to give us on how to beef up our support of that effort?
I have to say, no, everything you send is lovely. I haven't gotten a ton of feedback from other members or anything, which is absolutely fine. I know that a lot of people are out of town right now. There's not a ton to take photos of. It is an Arctic tundra, and we don't necessarily want to put that out to the public to come to the ice cap and visit us. So I totally get it.
No pictures of flooding.
Yeah, exactly. We do still continuously have people following on our Facebook and our Instagram. That's ongoing, that, I'm alerted that we have new followers all the time anyway. So it's still, we continue trucking. But yeah, understand we're in the dead of winter. So any sort of really interesting content, might be a little bit dicey for the next month or so, at least until maybe St. Patrick's Day when things start to come back alive a little bit.
Yeah, everything comes to life in March.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's really less than 50 days. They're gonna be doing it around town around the 13th and 14th for St. Patty's Day. So there'll be a lot of people in town. So far, the town has put the flyers up at all the dune crossings. They're in many of the restaurants in town. I've talked to Kate, but we haven't really pushed on it yet about maybe asking the restaurants to put it on their marquees.
Yes.
The problem is the marquees are sometimes horizontal instead of vertical, so we have to think how we want to put the flyers out for that. The other thing, out in some of the other cities, like in Nashville, they actually have stenciled things on the sidewalk. It's like you order it from a company.
Wow.
It's like a sticker that goes on the sidewalk with a QR code. Of course, now that with the weather and everything won't work, but maybe we get in some better weather, that might be something. But again, that's like a budget. We'd have to figure out how much it's going to cost for us to put that down on the sidewalk for the bricks. But I really think there's an opportunity when we do the St. Patrick's Day weekend at all the establishments in town. They're all going to be open. So I'm going to go back to them again and ask them if I can put more flyers up in those. And like at the Gold Leaf, I put a flyer up there. But if any of your committee members would like to get flyers, more than happy to provide them to you if you're out and about and you want to put them up also.
That's great.
Yeah, I have a thought. The Buy a Brick is that's the name of the program. Can we do like a tagline with it, something like the Dewey Walk of Fame or something along those lines? Be a part of the Dewey Walk of Fame, buy a brick. There's something that maybe helps trigger this a little bit better.
Actually, I think that's a really good idea.
I like that. I like it, Paul.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, did you say the Walk of Fame or the Walk of
I
Shame?
said
I didn't hear
We
that.
already have the walk
With
of
an
shame. We're
F as
not
in
putting
Frank.
that up
Yes.
anywhere.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Ellen, feel free to print that if you like. Put it in quotation marks. That's fame, F-A-M-E.
I really like that.
Okay. Anything else on this topic? Let's move on to brainstorming session for the town newsletter. I am assuming that Kate, there will be a big Valentine's Day push in the next one. Anything else? we
Buy
can
a
talk
brick for Valentine's Day.
Who needs a diamond? Buy a brick, right?
Well, why don't we say buy a gemstone?
Buy your bunny a carrot for Easter.
Okay, so anything else in addition to that? I've already sent her this, and I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I'm trying to get my family to commit to coming to Dewey for July 4th weekend. Everybody has different schedules, and everybody's saying, well, when are the fireworks? When's this? When's Rehoboth fireworks? When's Dewey? I think that renters and families are starting to think about summer plans like that for the holiday, and I think it would be great, even though it's very early, to say, if you're planning to come to the July 4th celebration in Dewey and Rehoboth, here are the days the events are happening, especially since it's around a weekend. I think the 4th is actually, I don't remember, is the 4th a Friday or?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. So people are gonna be asking, are the fireworks on Saturday or are they on Sunday? Should I come in on Friday? Should I stay till Monday? I think it might be helpful to just say, you're looking ahead, if you're planning a vacation around that holiday, this is what you should know about,
Yeah, Dewey fireworks will always be on the 4th of July, no matter what day that falls on.
okay?
Rehoboth moves it around all the time. Bethany moves theirs around all the
Yeah,
time.
I think Rehoboth's doing it the night of the 5th, but I'm not sure, so. But all those kinds of events that we're talking about, it would be great to get early notice out so people can plan.
Yeah, we know when ours is.
And it's bitter cold.
Thinking about
So you
summer.
need to think about summer. Sorry, Paul.
Anything else? Any other ideas for, I mean, it'd be, I'm sure people are thinking about pipes freezing, but by the time of the February newsletter, it's probably too late to be giving advice on what to do and.
Well, let's think about it. St. Patrick's Day, I mean, with all due respect, I'm too old to do the starboard. I'm too old to do the starboard on that Saturday, but there are a lot of people there and they are fairly well intoxicated. And could we have, I don't know. I mean, I joked, I think a couple meetings ago that, I do a sandwich board and walk down the beach in my Speedo, which I won't do, trust me. But could we have a roving ambassador or two with and a billboard out front of the Raw and see if we can get some people to, and we have a credit card machine and they can just Apple Pay us, bing, here's a brick. We could get a couple dozen people to just pop a brick that day. Any thoughts?
You could call it the Pop a Brick campaign.
There's always a bunch of people lined up for starboard opening day. All you
Right.
gotta do is canvas that line and we have a lot of people. They don't
Well,
have-
I'd like to get them after they're a little bit better lubricated, to be honest with you.
Oh, I didn't say they weren't lubricating themselves while they're waiting in line.
We'll stand in the bathroom.
Firemen do a bang-up job on that day.
I just think that could be a prime
Weekend.
opportunity for us to sell some bricks. And I don't know the answers, but I'd like to put some thought into that.
Okay.
When we think about somebody wearing the sandwich board and going up, does it have to be us or can we put in a newsletter that we're looking for volunteers to help do something?
Nude.
I was thinking of Sydney Sweeney, but she might not be available.
All right, let's go.
Okay, well, I think the prime consideration is the whole question about collecting money and getting credit cards to pay for bricks on the spot. And if that hurdle could be crossed, then how to get people and who to do it, probably, except for Sydney Sweeney, might be an easy take.
Hey, is there a way to set up a Venmo account just for the Walk of Fame? That might be the name of the Venmo.
I'm the wrong person to ask that question.
Paul, do you want to check into that?
I'll look into that.
Okay. Okay, anything more on this topic? Articles, newsletter topics, articles. I'm assuming we're also going to do Mother's Day and graduations and all that, but they'll come in their due time.
So one last thing, Coast Life is on every day at 4 o'clock on one channel and in the morning on WBOC and in the afternoon on WRD. Maybe, Patrice, since you also do Dewey and Bloom and the marketing committee, they like to do interviews of folks like that do volunteer work. I think the segue with Dewey and Bloom and having them talk about it, having maybe you interviewed, and then talk about some of the other things in Dewey. You can talk about the brick. I can provide you some of the, and Paul may have it also, the producer's contact information or somebody at WRD you could talk to.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and I'm happy to do it. If you give me the information, I'll follow up on it. Thank you, that's great.
It'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
Patrice, you and I can catch up on that after.
Okay, Paul, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, we're up to committee member comments. Are there any comments you want to make that weren't related to the agenda tonight that we might want to follow up on?
I brought up at the homeowners association, the one that we belong to and some interest, but I'm not sure if they're following up on it or not, but I did bring it up.
That's actually good. We have talked in the past about getting a list of the homeowners associations so we can start doing outreach. Whoever has that list, if they could provide it to me, we can put it on the plans for outreach. And I'd like to raise one thing has nothing to do with what we've been talking about. There has always been concern in the north end of town about the permit process and zoning and waivers and appeals. And it's clear to me that the people who get very upset about things think they know the permit process, but I don't think any of us pays attention to all that until it directly affects us or our neighbors or our neighborhood. I would like to just throw out that maybe the town should do a forum, totally educational, absolutely not related to anybody's individual property, and we would make that clear, but a place where there could be a presentation and people could ask questions and hopefully become educated enough that they know where to go if they do have questions about what's going on in their neighborhoods without getting into a big debate that isn't necessarily very well informed. So I don't.
So Patrice, I know the Civic Association has been talking about doing, because we do sort of those kind of seminars and been talking about doing exactly that because of the codes have changed recently. And having somebody from the town be able to do that. So we have a meeting, I don't know when our meeting is, the 3rd of the month, but I can find out, I can see if that's still on the agenda to do that in the spring, but I know that they were talking about hosting something.
I think an educational event would be really great. Yes.
I agree.
Okay, any other comments from other committee members? We need to plan our next meeting, which.
Hold on a sec. I was on mute. I just wanted to say for that civics meeting, make sure you have folks from the Sussex County Board and Zoning because a lot of their rules change almost every year as well.
Okay. I'll talk to them, but I know we've been kicking that around. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so I think there are two questions. Do we want to keep meeting monthly? Do we feel like we're talking enough about worthwhile subjects and making enough progress to meet monthly? Do we want to skip a month? If we do not skip a month, next meeting would be March 3rd. If we do skip a month, the next meeting would be April 7th. Any strong feelings one way or the other?
I won't be available March 3rd.
Okay.
I don't know, I sort of hate to lose any momentum
I feel
that
the
we're
same.
building. And little things, plus it keeps us all fresh too. I think we should do it in March.
Other members, what do you think?
Yeah,
Susan's nodding and saying yes.
Yeah.
Tara's yes. Rick? Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, so our next meeting will be March 3rd. Kate, can we do 4 o'clock? We had talked about 4 o'clock, but you had a conflict.
Yeah.
All right, so we will move to 4 o'clock to make it earlier in the day, a little bit earlier,
That'll help.
on March 3rd. Any other comments? Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Patrice.
I take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Louisa, second?
Second.
Ellen, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good night, thank you.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.